So if you go for this CLI session, you can just click it here and everything will be set up. So the password I'm using admin123. And if I want to, you see here that port one, what I'm connected here, that's based on like connected to management. So I will just check the IP address of the port one, that what is the IP address on port one, and then I will proceed. So if I go show system interface port one, that's having this IP address 192.168.29.190. So using this, I can log on to my GUI. How many of you are already working with FortiGate? Anybody? Nobody? Okay. Okay, I think I see some of the messages. No, no. Okay, so I see some of the yes on 600F SRX and P. Okay. Awesome. So if you're working, they're like similar. There's not much difference, but you have to like a lot of uh, differences as well. But concept of like setting up the policies is like quite similar. So if you are
So,
logging it,
Anuj,
looking at it,
I'm sorry to interrupt you. One question.
yeah,
So, mainly,
yeah.
what is the difference between Palo Alto firewall and FortiGate firewall? I mean, I know that Palo Alto is also called a low latency firewall, right? So, what is the main difference between these two firewalls?
There is a like I should say there's no much difference because both of if you talk about the features, they are like similar. Okay, so they have this security profiles that options these are available. So all the firewalls are having this antivirus feature, web filter, video filter, DNS filter. All these options they are available. They are like session uh, oriented stateful firewall, and whatever the features they are not having, they just inbuilt that as well. So what of the major difference what I see in the FortiGate and the Palo Alto, that's like committing the configuration. So here if you change any of the configuration, you just click OK and everything is done. It's implemented immediately on the FortiGate firewall. While in the Palo Alto, you make the changes, not to worry. You have to commit and push. Basically, if you are doing from Panorama, you have to commit and push. So that push part is like similarly on the FortiGate as well. Yeah, if you're doing for the FortiManager, but the main difference is like you have to commit everything on the Palo Alto, while on the this FortiGate, you just click OK and the changes are effective immediately. That's like major difference. If you do mistakes in the FortiGate, you have to regret it immediately. And even if like in the Palo Alto, if you make some changes and you can revert it back. Here, like you can do revert it back as well, but that's like implemented immediately. Once you observe that the things will be going down, and then you will revert it back with their like previous configuration. And remaining with feature wise, I don't see there like much difference. Both they like quite similar. Nobody's lagging on any of the things.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah. So here, if I go with the lab, so let me start this switch as well. And this is like one of the Windows machine I have taken in the EVNG. I will start this one. So what the purpose of today's class will be, we will be try to access the internet on this machine. Okay, this is normal Windows machine. Start normally. So I'll be starting this Windows machine. It will be going through the switch. It is connected to one of the firewall. And then from firewall, it is going towards the internet. So that's today's exercise. We'll be doing it. And it we will allow that traffic. So usually I think it will not be allowed. I will check the previous policies that if they are there, I will be deleting them. Internal, I think they are. So I will just delete them quickly. We have one more policy. You see that implicit deny. Okay. So this is the default policy available in FortiGate Firewall, and that's make sure that no traffic is allowed from any source to any destination. So this any is the concept of like Palo Alto. Here we use it as an all, but the purpose of both of them is very same. There's no change in that one. So it's meant that from all source to all destination, the traffic is denied. So you are coming from port one to going to the port two, or you are going coming from port two to port one, whatever you are doing, the traffic is not allowed to pass through. And if you want to delete this implicit deny policy, like let's suppose let's try to delete this one. Select it. You don't have this delete option is like grayed out. You cannot delete this. This is the default policy, and this is default behavior of FortiGate firewall, and you cannot delete it. You can edit it if you want, but you cannot delete the. Even if you want to edit it, you will not be able to change the its default behavior. Okay, so that's how thing is like. Okay, you cannot change its default behavior of the file. So my machine is okay now. Okay, and if I check the IP, this is the IP address of my machine 10.1.1.10 here 10.1.1.10, and that is connected to the switch and towards the FortiGate firewall on port 2. So if I want to access the internet here, or very first thing, I will try to ping the Google DNS 8.8.8.8, and I'm sure that it will not be pinging. So it is going like request timed out. That means that it is not working very fine. And the same time, if I the very like usual way of checking whether that internet is working or not, we will check the Google Chrome. So if I go with this youtube.com, it will take some time. Meanwhile, I give you one of the thing here. There's like WhatsApp group of the FortiGate firewall. If you want to join it, then you can join. I will give the link. Meanwhile, it is showing you that YouTube is downloading or not, so that you can save a little bit time. So this group is just for the discussion or whatever the doubts you are having or any the career you have any job opportunity you can share with each other. So people are sharing. You can also take the like benefit of that one. So let me post on the chat. This is normal discussion group we are having. So ultimately that YouTube will not be opening. So that's like I wanted to show you because the thing is like we have this diagram here, right? So if you see that the policies we are having, so based on the policies, we do not allow the traffic to pass through the firewall. So if the traffic, if you see here, it is coming up to here, and if it wants to go further, it cannot. So I can show you one more thing that will like try to ping that will what IP address it can ping. So I will try to ping from this machine. I will try to ping this 10.1.1.20. Let's see if it is pinging or not. So finally, YouTube saying that they connect to the internet, you are offline, means that you don't have any internet access. So if I try to ping 10.1.1.10, I think my default gateway, I should say, or the interface of the firewall, which is towards the machine. So from here, if I want to ping 10.1.1.20, what do you guys say that it will be able to ping it or not? What will be the result if we execute ping 10.1.1.1.20? Yes, no? Should I hit not works? Okay. Anyone else want to vote it? Don't do blind guess. Just think logically and then answer. Any other vote? Works, not works? Nobody? Nobody want to contribute? At least support Vinod. Okay, it works. Okay. Now we have tie. 50-50, right? Vinod says it not works. Ramya says it works. Anybody want to like do go on the majority that it works or not? Anybody else wants to vote? Or should I hit enter? No? Okay, let me hit enter. Oh, it's pinging. Now let me answer that why it is pinging, right? So if you try to ping from this machine up to here, so you are not crossing the firewall, right? You are before the firewall. There's no restrictions on that one. You just try to go here, you go for the switches, switch will forward the traffic. There's like everything is open with no restriction. Even you don't mess up the configuration. If it is working, so working, not working, so not working. So we don't have any restrictions on that one. So that traffic will go allow up to 10.1.1.20. What if we want to ping that 20.1.1.20? We are crossing the firewall now. Will it work? Now I think you get the clue. You should answer the right this time. Yes, it will not work. That's right. So let's ping you as well, 20.1.1.20. Okay, I need to write ping. That will not work. 20.1.1.1.20. This request timed out. It does not, my firewall does not allow to pass through the traffic, right? Similarly, it was happening with the Google DNS, which was 8.8.8, and it was not working. It was going as a request timed out. Now, what we do, we allow that traffic. We set up a rule on the FortiGate firewall, and let's allow that. That please allow this guy. So how we do it? We go to the policy and objects here. There's an option of the policy and objects. If you expand it here, there is option of the firewall policy. Okay, click it here. I think you have gone through this much before. Have shown you this implicit deny, so you know how to navigate, but still you forget it. So it's there. So here you can create a new policy. Create new. Name of the policy I can give as internet. Uh, okay, so internet policy I will give. Okay, internet policy, because with this policy we are allowing setting up the internet working, right? So I will set from the traffic coming from port 2 incoming interface. So here you see, right, this incoming traffic is port 2, and outgoing, we're not going towards port 3, that is toward the server. We are going towards the internet. Internet is connected on port 4. So I will select port 4 as an outgoing interface. So here I set as a port 4, just going toward internet. Now it comes the real magic that what source you want to allow. So here in the source, you have like multiple things available. Either you can allow the IP address, single IP address, or you can allow the multiple IP addresses, or you can give a complete subnet. So if you see here, if I put the plus sign here, there are like multiple options: address, user, internet services. So either you can allow based on the user, you can allow based on the address. Address means the IP addresses. Okay. So here I have addresses created for the this user 10.1.1.1.10. I can use this as it is. If not, I will create a new one. So if you want to create a new one, you see an option of the address name. You can give anything. I'm not going to create as of now. I'm just want to show you the options, that what options are available. So in the type, you see that there are these many options are available, which type of the things you can allow through this address. You can allow the subnet, you can allow the IP range, you can allow the FQDN based on the geography, you can allow, or the devices MAC address, or dynamic way of also you can allow this one. Right. So these are the options you can choose of. You see that if I can allow a single IP address through the policy, I want this guy only 10.1.1.10 to allow three, right? Now, how will you allow it? How will I, correct? I don't have an option of this IP address. I have IP range, subnet. These two options are the based on the IP address. So if you want to allow a single IP address, okay, I think my camera is switching fine. So if I want to allow the IP address, just single IP address, I will go for the IP range. Okay. And in the IP range, what you will do, use the IP address 10.1.1.1.10, and range should be, but I just want to allow the single IP. So how I will do, I will start with the same IP and end with the same IP 10.1.1.1.10. That's how we allow in the FortiGate firewall. If you see other firewalls, there are objects are available. There is option for the single IP. You can enter it and your job is done. But in the FortiGate, it's not. You have to use this option IP range and use start and end the same IP address, and that's how you allow a single IP. So I'm not going to create it because I have already created it. So this was the object I created. If you see it here, IP range. So 10.1.1.10 to 10.1.1.10. That's how I created it. So I'm going to use it here. So there, that's how you add in the source, that from this machine as a source, and towards destination I want to allow all, because this is like a rule for the internet, and in the internet we do not restrict the traffic anywhere we can go, right? So we'll see the destination as an all. Okay. And schedule is always, we do not want to restrict. And the services, we usually, whenever we are setting up for the internet, we allow port 80443 and DNS, these three things, but making it simple, don't make it too complex. I'm setting up it in all. Okay. So all the services are allowed as of now. So, and that's it. NAT, I want to, because if I want to use the internet, NAT must be enabled, and I'll be using outgoing interface to go to the internet. Antivirus profile, as of now, I have just disabled it. Do not enable. Log all the sessions, and policy is enabled. If you want to mention the change number here, normally whenever we are working in the production environment, then we make these changes based on the change number. So we'll mention the change number on the comment section, that on which, based on which change number I have or I'm implementing this policy. So I'll set it as okay. So I just did OK and my policy is set. So this is what is the difference. Like if you go on the Palo Alto, even if you do OK, you have to commit that configuration on the firewall. So like till the time you have time, if you change your mind or you think that something has gone wrong, so you can revert or the things are not implemented. But here you once you click OK, the policy is implemented and effective immediately. Yes, Napat said right. We can also use the /32 as single IP. Yes, that will work. Like you can select a subnet option, give that IP, and use the /32. That will work. So now I should test my internet. Is it working or not? Bingo. I'm having access to YouTube. Little bit slow, but it is working. Right? So that's how like you provide the internet access or the set up the policy to allow through your firewall. Now, if you look on to the logs, right? So if you check the logs, can go to the option of log and report, and there is an option of the forward traffic. You see that the how the traffic is traveling through. From this source, IP address 10.1.1.10, we see that multiple destination traffic is traveling through, right? So here somebody should be going to the YouTube, or they're not. Let me refresh it again. Okay, so that's how like now they are going to the YouTube. So you see that I have requested to go to the YouTube, but still there are like multiple things have been connected to, like Cisco.com, update Google API. So that's what it is happening in the background whenever you are connected to the internet. Lot of patches and updates, or instantly they are trying to uh, make connection. Let's suppose you have an antivirus installed on your machine that instantly goes to the internet and download updates. You have any other website open, there are like ads within that website, they are trying to connect to internet. Same times another API is called in that same web page that is trying to connect to the internet. So this is the thing which are making these many of the connections. So let's suppose you're having this ad, right? So that will also be getting from some other IP addresses, that traffic will be coming through, or something in between, up and down. So these type of things are happening. Let's suppose the time is not set and the NTP connection is being made to the NTP server. That will also coming to your firewall. You can block those traffic based on your requirements. In the production environment, we never ever open for all. We only open whatever is essential and is required. Else we are doomed. So we just like on huge risk. So if you want to like explore this YouTube traffic, okay, so you can double click here and you can see the more things here. Like let's suppose you that what time you accessed 9:43. This is not for the right time. We are not in the right time, right? So this is the time of the firewall. So that is like little bit messed up. And what is the duration, that how much time it took? Session ID. What is the session ID? Because I told you that this is like session is installed. So the what is the session ID was installed on the firewall. IP address was 10.1.1.10, and then it was netted to 192.168.137.146. Usually in production environment, this is a public IP, but because of my lab setup, this is using private IP address. It will be further netted to a public IP and then going to the internet. So that's what is like happening. Source port it is using 55672, and the destination port it will be using 443. Okay. So all other information from which interface it came, what was the primary MAC, towards which destination it was accessing, right? So these many of the information you will be uh, looking onto it. What are the application it is having? Okay. So these are the information you can look onto the firewall. And based on that one, let's suppose you get a request that what the traffic is allowed or blocked, that you go to the logs, check that what traffic is blocking or dropped on your firewall, and you can allow that traffic through you set up a policy, you allow that traffic. That's what is happening on the uh, firewall. So any question in this, whatever we have covered till now? No. Okay. Okay. So this was like about the mm, today's session, and this like these sessions, so you can like some of the sessions you can also watch on my YouTube. So where's my YouTube? So if you search on the YouTube with my channel name, you will get it. That is with the name of Flash Developer. Okay, this is like a live session which is currently live. You see it here. Okay, so you can search with this name Flash Developer. You can get it. So this is my channel, and you can like watch multiple videos. So recently, I have started with this Linux for Hackers. Like weekly, I think I'm giving one video, 1 month, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 ago. So weekly, one session will be coming, and this is live session. I think what you are learning here that will be live here. Okay, let's close this one. And regarding this course, whatever we are talking about, you can, these are like going to be live sessions. Okay. So you can also learn some of the firewalls here, but this is about today's, this live classes, what we are running. So these are going to be like weekend classes. And this could be around like 30 hours session, 30 hours course we are going to cover. And these are like Saturday and Sunday, every 11 a.m. to 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And this we started around 25th February. So this is the class 2 of this session, and you get this course like on this 49998. So if you compare from the market, that's like uh, how it is on the market is like quite high price, right? So not mine. Like in the market, they're like quite high price. I have just reduced it to around 5,000. But if you go any live classes, they around charge around 12 to 15,000. So this is like quite low, whatever is available on the market. And content, what I'm going to cover, like introduction part, we'll get more deep dive that how to basically the firewall, set it up, UNG labs, FortiGate firewall policy, a specific policy that how we set up the policy, what should be the approach to set up the policy there. Then we get to know about the net and routing concepts that how they work on the firewall. So here in between, we also go to this FortiGate, like this backup admin part, that how software upgrade we do, backup parts we do, and net and routing concept also we cover. Content inspection, we will cover it around that how the traffic is allowed through the firewalls, PDF, like we discussed, like this blocking of the files, content inspection. Then we learn about this VPN, virtual private network. We will set up, learn the cryptographic fundamentals, traffic, that how phase one and phase two tunnels are working. Then we try to set it up on the lab, that site to site VPN, that how that VPN basically being configured between the two firewalls. Then at the end, we also cover a tab like high redundancy and HA. So if you go on the interview perspective, These two are the like virtual private network and the high availability. They are like must topic. Most of the questions are coming from this VPN and high availability, like 20 to 30% from these topics, whatever we set up the policy, because they are like simple things, people usually get it. But NAT, I should say the NAT is also included, NAT and content inspection and all. So below here, 60% is covered, 60 to 70%. And above top three, just 30% is being covered. Oh, thank you. Yes, I think, okay, some questions are there. NAT and Palo Alto. I'll just cover it, okay? And this will be like around, because content is around 30 hours, and we are expecting it to be like on weekends, like 3 hours per week. So around 30, we will cover it up around 2.5 months to 3 months. That will be, entire session will be covered it up. And you can enroll from this directly clicking on this link, enroll and pay. You will, it will like redirect to the one of the Razor Pay, and then you can pay this one. So we will be also having classes for tomorrow at the same time. So who are already enrolled for this one, that's fine. Who have not enrolled and want to enroll, that you will be, you can go ahead with this one. And another part, you will be getting a recorded session of this one on my portal. Okay, so this is will be my portal for net.firstdeveloper.online. Here you will be getting, like, you will get access to this portal here, First Developer, and you will get all the recordings. And along with that one, in the previous session, I was not including the quizzes, that what are the quiz after this session, quiz was not involved, but this from this session onwards, I will like record a session, like not record, basically like we have a session, and then after that one, I will be including a quiz so that you can at least get a basic idea that have you learned something or not. Based on that, you can assess yourself. And who have or like already paid for it or like enrolled, you might have got an access already for this page. Like use like rate it within 24 hours once you enroll for this one. And any other questions you have? Okay, I have this. Yeah, Palo Alto videos are good. And how many months? So months, I think I told you that they are going to be around 2.5 to 3 months. That also depends on like how we are interacting. If you have a lot of questions, then it may extend a bit. But if we are getting it like we are quite sync up with each other, we can easily wrap it up. Like within 2 point, within the time we can cover it up. Any more questions regarding this one? So how was it like? You see, feel it like? Does it value you? You feel it this course or not? But it's like quite high, the content what I'm providing, because uh, what I have got the feedback from the like from the Palo Alto, because I started Palo Alto 148. I think this is the fourth batch what I'm like running this one, and I got the feedback that like this is nowhere available on this price. It's like quite low, especially the live session and the support and help I provide. So, do you have any question on this one? Uh, Come up it up, or you should, what do you think that we should go with it, you should go, or any blocking point for that one, or does you think that the course is too high in the cost? Nothing, simple one. Okay, so if you have no further questions, okay, is there any changes in timings? uh Timing changes will not be possible as of now, because people are already like comfortable with this time. So basically it'll be a little bit like complex to change it, because they're already like interested in this timing. So if I change it, their schedule will be disturbed. So don't want to change the timings. If you like, you are not comfortable with the timing, what things can be done? You can go to the recorded sessions and try to utilize maximum that you want to join. But in case you miss it, like some of them, then you can also get in touch with me on WhatsApp if you have any doubts and further. Like my WhatsApp number is available on my website. You can contact on this. I will like really helping, or you can also post on the groups. If anybody will be free, they can answer it. If they're not, then I'll be helping you out to clear your questions you are having. So in this way, we'll like help it out. Any more questions? Okay, thank you. No more questions. So perfect. So if you don't have any further questions, then I will end up this session. Yeah, and see you tomorrow. Who have like okay with it? We'll see you there on the same time, 10 a.m. Till that, bye bye.